So, have you ever looked at Google's AI lineup and just felt a little confused? Yeah, you are not alone. You've got Gemini, this kind of brilliant, all-knowing chatbot. And then there's NotebookLM, this super powerful research tool. They're both from Google. They're both powered by Gemini models. So, what's the deal?
It's the big question, right? Which one are you supposed to use for which task? It can really feel like they're designed to do the exact same thing. And that feeling, that's exactly what we're going to clear up right now.
And let's be honest, on the surface, the overlap seems massive. You can ask both of them to summarize documents, you can chat with them. It's no wonder people get them mixed up. But, and this is the key, underneath that surface, they are built for fundamentally different jobs. The thing is, they're not rivals, they're specialists. And once you understand that difference, you can unlock their true power. Okay, let's dive in. Before we get into all the nitty-gritty details, I want to give you one simple, really powerful way to think about these tools. This is the mental model that's going to make everything else just click into place. And this is it. Honestly, if you only remember one thing, make it this. Gemini knows the internet. NotebookLM knows your documents. That's it. One is your brilliant generalist who's read everything online. The other is your dedicated personal analyst who has only read the specific files you've given it.
You know, I love this analogy from a Reddit user. It just captures the feeling perfectly. Gemini is that huge open ocean of information. NotebookLM, that's your private, specialized library where you control every single book on the shelf.
All right, so with that core distinction in our back pocket, let's break down how these two tools play completely different roles. We're going to look at 5 specific areas that really truly set them apart.
We're going to look at their knowledge source, where they get their facts, how they handle trust and citations, which is huge, their best use cases, what they're actually built for, their ability to scale, and, of course, privacy. You'll see pretty quickly they are built for totally different things. So it all comes down to their source of truth. If you need to know about what's happening in the news right now, or plan a trip, or just explore a topic you know nothing about, Gemini is your go-to. But if you need to find one specific clause buried in 100 pages of contracts, you absolutely want NotebookLM because it won't get distracted by anything from the outside world. And this leads directly to trust, which is a huge deal. Gemini is amazing, but it can sometimes, well, it can hallucinate. It can just make stuff up. And for any serious work, that's a deal breaker, right? NotebookLM solves this. Every single answer it gives you is grounded in your sources with the little citation you can click that takes you to the exact passage. For research or legal work, this isn't just a feature, it's absolutely essential.
So this also defines the type of task each one is built for. Think of Gemini as your creative partner. It's for that blank page moment, brainstorming, writing a first draft, creating an image. NotebookLM is your research analyst. It's for when you already have a pile of information and you need to make sense of it, find connections, and pull out the key insights.
Then you have to ask, how much stuff are we talking about? Gemini is brilliant for a quick chat, or maybe analyzing a few documents you drop into the conversation. But NotebookLM, well, that's an enterprise-grade knowledge base. It's designed for you to build these huge libraries over time, for massive, ongoing projects with hundreds of different sources.
And the sheer power here is just wild. With the paid plan, NotebookLM can handle hundreds of sources, and each source can be 500,000 words long. Think about that. It can digest and make sense of something in seconds that would literally take a person weeks of nonstop reading to get through. That's a revolutionary scale for research.
And finally, let's talk about privacy. This is a big one. If your company pays for Gemini for Workspace, you get strong data protections. But with NotebookLM, and this is for both free and paid users, Google makes an explicit promise. Your documents and your chats are never used to train their models, period. For sensitive info, that is a critical assurance. Okay, so you've got it figured out, right? Gemini for broad, creative stuff. NotebookLM for deep, private analysis. 2 separate tools, 2 separate jobs. But just when you get comfortable with that idea, Google went and built a bridge. And this is where it gets really interesting.
That's right, you don't have to choose anymore. You can now pull your super specific private knowledge base from NotebookLM directly into the wide-open creative world of Gemini. This one integration fundamentally changes the entire workflow from research to creation.
And connecting them couldn't be simpler. Seriously, you just open Gemini, click that little upload icon, and you'll see a new option, NotebookLM. You pick the notebook you want, and boom, it's attached to your conversation. You've just combined both worlds.
So why is this such a game changer? Well, this quote really gets to the heart of it. The killer feature is what some people are calling hybrid queries. It means you can ask Gemini a question that needs both its knowledge of the live web and the specific context from your private stuff. You can say, based on my company's internal brand guide in this notebook, go search the web and find me 3 new marketing campaigns our competitors just launched. A standalone tool could never do that.
Okay, so what does this actually look like in practice? Because this isn't just a cool trick, it enables a whole new way of working. Let's map out a simple but incredibly powerful workflow that uses the strengths of both tools together. It's a really simple 3-step loop. Discover, analyze, create. You start in Gemini to discover, using its web connection to explore a topic and find all the key sources. Then, you take those sources and pop them into NotebookLM to analyze them deeply, getting those perfect, cited summaries and insights. Finally, you go back to Gemini, attach that notebook for context, and you create your final output, the report, the presentation, the whole shebang.
So after all that, when you sit down at your desk tomorrow, which tool should you reach for? Let's end with a quick and dirty cheat sheet to make the choice a no-brainer based on what you're actually trying to do.
This really makes it simple. Planning a week in Tokyo? That's Gemini all day long. It needs live web info. But summarizing 5 dense research papers? Oh, you definitely want NotebookLM for that. Trying to find contradictions in a bunch of legal contracts? Again, NotebookLM. It's all about picking the right specialist for the job.
So the real takeaway here isn't about Gemini versus NotebookLM. It's about realizing you don't just have AI tools anymore. You have an AI team. You've got a brilliant generalist for discovery and a meticulous analyst for research. The only question left is, how are you going to lead them?